Actually, we haven't got recording videos.
How come? Bappa? I
Uh,
think I will uploaded all the videos yesterday. I
so, in
think,
which,
can you
how
refresh?
many topics you have completed in Power BI?
In Power BI, approximately 8 classes. Sorry, 6 classes, my bad. Now 18th class has been completed and 2 classes or 2 or 3 classes we didn't record. Total 21 days we have connected actually.
Okay.
Okay. So 18
So,
classes are there.
we may get notes in Power BI
If
if
you want, I'll
possible.
give you the notes. No worries on that. Okay. I'll give
Yeah,
you the notes if you want.
yeah. Actually, I need to see
Okay, cool.
everything.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. Few things here. I'll share the notes
Yeah.
if you want. That's fine. I'll share the Power BI notes. What exactly
Can you
is
share
required.
SQL notes as well?
Okay. That is very basics. I'll share with you if anything you get more. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks for that. So it was second. Stop. Right. So now we're going to be understand the schemas here. Okay. So how to get the schema and what kind of a schemas is available here. That's the one thing that you're going to be understanding in Power BI. Right. Thanks for that. Yeah. So, okay, let me add a text box here. This is the one thing that we're going to be understanding is 24 schema. Okay. The schemas are basically we use the star schema, guys. Okay. The most of the people asked in the interview questions for Power BI and data analysis, like in what kind of a schema you use in Power BI. Okay. So remember that majorly, majorly we use the star schema until unless is there any huge requirement in the dimensional changes. There will be certain changes are there and 99.99% we use the star schema. What is a star schema? Okay. In a Power BI, a star schema is a type of data model that commonly used. We use the very common way. A relationship between the fact table, a relationship between fact table and dimensional table called star schema. Okay, you got it right. A relationship between a fact table and the dimensional table. What is the fact table? First of all, the fact table is very clear. Where business runs, where business data appears. So this is the fact table. Dimensional table. People is called this dimension table and people also called a dim table. Okay, it's at the both the things. So fact table is the one thing where business data appears, where business data involves, where the business calculated columns and business columns is a part of it. That's what we call it as a okay fact table. Dimensional table which supports business. Four business columns are different. Four dim columns are different. What it is showing here? Fact table where the business runs. Let's assume you have a sales data with you. Okay, you have a sales data with you, right? A sales data, what sales data do basically? Sales having one table like how much sales is happened. Okay, let's assume few columns like sales ID, okay, sales value, sales region, sales agent, who did it and all, correct? So it is not giving the region, but it's not giving any additional details from that. Only region ID or region D. So to support that regional values and which region it belongs to, how in the region, how many Okay, cities are there, how many activities are there, how many shops in currently active, how much marketing people are working. These all things will be in the region table. Okay, business table is a sales table, support table is a region table. In the region table, there is a no business at all. Okay, so for example, I'm writing it here. One is a sales table. Sales table contain the sales information. Let's assume that table is called a sales ID, comma, sales value, region. I'm just giving an example, okay? And agent who did this sales. And if you go for the next table is like region table. If you have just a region like it's in India or it's go to South Asia or Eastern, right? Now it's sitting region and along with the city, marketing team belongs to this particular region. Likewise, you have a details. Now, if you can segregate these values, you can connect these all things to the sales table. You can support based on that. So it's not going to be changed, right? Until unless marketing team hugely change it, maybe inside the team, people might change. But the team name, what is the core values are giving by that, that will be remain the same. Okay. So the region, city, these all are the supporting columns. These are the business columns. So this table is called a dim table. Region table is a dim table. Sales table is a fact table. There is a sales ID. When the sales is happened, sales date, sales value, sales region, sales agent. These all are the business tables. Where exactly sales happened, how much value it is, how much value is coming from, who's the customer, everything. This is the fact table. So I'm repeating one more time. Fact table where the business data appears, where the business is regularly functionalities happen, that is comes under the table. And this is called as a central table as well. Fact table is also called as central tables. Okay. Dimensional tables also called as a descriptive tables. It means that it's give you a description to the fact table. Okay, that's called as a descriptive tables. Correct. So this is the one thing. To simply understand the star schema, okay, for the business users and all, there is a one more schema to be called, that is the snowflake schema. Wait. Okay, the one more is there, that is you call it as a snowflake schema. Snowflake schema. I'm just making it bold to show that it's not belongs here. What is snowflake schema? Okay, this is bit confusing, and this is for the big data and huge data scenarios or complex data scenarios. We use the snowflake schema, nothing to do with the Power BI. I'm just giving an example. Snowflake schema, what happens, right? Sales is a fact table, region is a dimensional table. Region dimensional table to the sales, and one more table would be dimensional table to the region. Likewise, a kind of hierarchy would be there. There is a no particular and permanent fact tables. There is no particular and permanent dimensional tables in the snowflake schema. So this is used in the big data level. But in a start schema, there is a proper fact table and there is a proper dimensional table. Okay, I'm repeating my statement here. That's simple things. Star schema is a relationship between a fact and dimensional table. Okay, and snowflake schema is a relationship between the fact and dimensional and fact tables. You can keep the relationship between the fact table and fact and dimensional table is both the tables. Okay, circular dependency would be available there. So it is like a snowflake schema, that is a relationship between fact table and dimensional table, and fact and dimensional table as well, fact and fact table as well. So any questions, guys?
No.
Cool.
No.
Right. So we'll understand afterwards how this visualization level that is working, how to create a model with that and everything while we are creating the model. Okay. We talked about that, right? Fact tables and dimensional tables and composite level way and everything. Okay. So this is the one thing that you have to understand all the time. Second thing, it we discussed on the gateways, if I'm not wrong, correct guys? Gateways are done.
Which one?
Gateways. Guys, I think you're not checking it. Come on.
No, no, no. Actually, what gateway?
However,
No,
we discussed it, right?
I have checked it. Yesterday you told me that x-axis, y-axis, and legend, right?
But that's we discussed it. Okay, that's better.
Uh,
Slightly sure, maybe issue on that. But
yeah.
gateways we discussed. If you remember that gateways, okay, gateways are the one thing that if you wanted to connect it to the cloud based to the on-premises based, for example, okay. So you have a on-premises data in your local system, and if you want to connect this on-premises, there will be a bridge mechanism called a gateway.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, do you remember? Or shall I
You
continue for
say,
5 minutes?
to take information from SQL and other.
Yes. So this
Okay.
is like a gateway. So okay, Power BI gateway is like a bridge that connected to the on-premises data to cloud. Okay. So a Power BI is a bridge that connects between on-premises. It means that your local system or the area of your servers, your local computer servers of your company to the cloud basis technologies, any cloud technologies. And it's only works with the this level only. Cloud to cloud, you don't need a gateway because this inbuilt mechanism to get the data. Cloud to cloud, it's not ready. It ensures that the users can connect it to the refresh data whenever you want to refresh your tables. Okay, in Power BI service, right? So you have your Power BI services with you, right? So it's a cloud-based Power BI services and all. So Power BI service means cloud-based one where we share our reports to the users and all. Correct. So this is the where you refresh data there. If you want to refresh data here, right? So you go to the home button, you can see this is the refresh option for you. Okay, you click outside and okay, I think you are connected actually. Okay, if you connected, if you click on this refresh button, it will refresh here. Correct? You can directly refresh it because the internal connectors will work. But if you publish this report, these options I told you how to publish as well, right? Once you publish this report to the Power BI service, okay, once you publish there, so what happened there? There is no mechanism to connect the data like this way. So that is like you need to build external connections there. Okay, you have to go to the Power BI service. You have to build that external connection. That is called a data gateway. If you don't have on-premises data, you can directly give the link, boss, this is my credentials, and refresh the data. You can directly give your credentials, like your Windows credentials, SQL credentials, whatever it is. But if you have like on-premises data, then you have to build a gateway. Gateway are two types: on-premises data gateway, personal or standard. Okay, personal is for only with your ID. For example, Madhava installed of personal, it works from only Madhava's ID, Madhava's employee ID only. But if you use the standard or we called it as a general Power BI gateway, then it will work the organizational account, where your organizational account is matter. There's a type of organizational accounts basically. Okay, it's basically to refresh the data in Power BI services. There you can use it actually. Okay, clear guys. If you want to go through anything,
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
okay, that's good. One second, guys. My next topic is incremental refresh, guys. Okay, just a second. Let me add the text box in. So I'm not giving everything in these details, guys. Tomorrow we'll have to build the incremental refresh as well. But I just want to give the concept here. Incremental refresh. So the basic understanding of incremental refresh. So basic understanding, you might see right in the name itself is showing we are refreshing by step or split by split. It's not like direct refresh. It's a step by step refresh. What exactly happening in this step by step refresh is like you have a 1 lakh rows. Okay. You have 1 lakh rows and it's crossing your 10 GB limit. If you know, right, we were discussed on this. We have a Power BI internal memory capacity is 10 GB. So the day second only we discussed on this. So the basic understanding of this thing like incremental refresh, okay, is the basic 1 lakh rows you have in the Power BI, but you are not able to refresh the data because it's crossing your 10 GB. It shows like, well, it's out of memory. What do you want to do? You can find out that the data from 2002 to 2024, 22 years data is there. Okay. So, which is not required by the business, but business wants to keep this 22 years data. There is no business, okay, compromisation there. They're not asking to go for the 16 years data, 15 years. No, 22 years data is there. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to keep a incremental refresh. Okay. Likewise, keep all 22 years data. Okay. Keep all 22 years data. Right. Keep all 22 years data. Refresh only 10 years data. Or 1 year data, 5-year data based on the changes. If changes is happened, I can do this using incremental refresh. I need to give a certain, flexibilities on this, how exactly it's going to be happen, what kind of a thing scenarios is going to be happen. Everything you need to give that. Okay. So only a scenario when literally I'm saying it, when only a scenario it might not be the same. 1 second, guys. Okay, the scenario it might not happen is even though the 10 years data is also crossing 10 GB. If this 10 years of data also crossing 10 GB, that's not possible. Okay. If this 10 years data below 10 GB, then I can make that happen. First time refresh would be everything, and the rest all refreshes would be 22 years data. Sorry, 10 years data. My bad. So how this happen? Okay, you just need to import the data. Okay. So I'm just giving this guys, import the data from Power BI. So import the data into Power BI, sorry. Okay. Create two parameters. Create two parameters. One is the start date. One is the end date. I'm just giving this guys. Tomorrow we're going to be create this stuff, but I'm just giving in a context to you. Create two parameters. One is the start date. One is the end date. Create start date parameter. Create end date parameter. Okay. Assign these two parameters to data. These two parameters to data, which you imported, right? Here you imported the data, right? Which you imported, you just need to add these two parameters to data. You created start date, you created end date, and you connected these two to parameter, these two to existing data. Okay. Once you did that, come back to the right here. Okay, come back here and assign date to incremental refresh. So there is one option called incremental refresh here. This is the 5-step work, guys. Simple 5-step work. Let me add some data here. Wait. Okay, I just loaded this data here. Okay. Cool. I got this data. If I click on this right side, right, you will get one option called incremental refresh. Here you got it. So once you completed the 3 steps, you can come here and you can do that. But now there is no parameters. You need to set up a parameters here, right? You need to set up your parameters here. Okay, we are not doing it now. I'm just saying it. It needs some time for us to do it. Why sometime means I need a Harika into the picture actually. Okay. Why? I'll tell you, because this is an advanced topic. I cannot repeat this topic again and again. Tomorrow we'll connect it. But understand the steps, remind the steps. Tomorrow it will be easy for me to do it in 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. Okay. So first import the data into Power BI. Okay. So create one parameter at start date, create one parameter in end date, assign these two parameters to data, then come to the Power BI, right click on that, choose the incremental refresh, connect these two parameters here. Okay, then what happens, right? It shows you first from this to this stage is the my stable data. One time only it will refresh. Rest all data will be refreshed frequently whenever this refresh is happened. Any questions on this, guys?
Yeah, can
This will
you
happen.
in the last one
Yeah.
once more?
No, I can tell you tomorrow what exactly is going to be happen. Okay, Adu. Just because I can't come here until unless Harika is here, because this is going to be very advanced topic. Okay, so that's the reason I stopped myself. This is called a parameters. We're going to be create two parameters here. Okay, and we're going to be assign these two parameters to this particular data. For example, you have this data here, marks ID, subject, midterm marks, final marks, everything is here, right? So I need a date column as well. Once you have a date column, we'll create two parameters. What is your start date? For example, 2022 January 1st. And what is your end date? Today. Maybe tomorrow is also today, right? Systems today date. Whenever the system starts, that date only has to capture and refresh the data. These two parameters for me, start date and end date. Then connect these two parameters to the data. Okay. Then work with that. So we'll do tomorrow, basically. We'll do tomorrow this. Once Arika is back, when we start this Power Query editor and all, then we can do this stuff. And ask Arika not to miss Monday session. If she misses, and I have to go through that, because Monday we're going to be completed three important topics: parameters, okay, utilizations, and add columns, which is most important thing. Okay. Don't ask Harika to miss the session. Any questions,
Yeah,
guys?
she will definitely on Monday.
Yeah, today I plan those sessions because this is the
Hmm.
mostly asked questions in the interviews, guys. Most of the time they ask her the interview. These are the interview questions. So I don't want to do go for there. She went through all the basics. If she missed these things again, it's not going to be looks good. Ask her to join.